Thank you to everybody, and it's my pleasure to be here, as well as that it's a privilege to be here as well, and proud to be here to share some of our experience with you, and particularly for the young professional like you, that you are our future, isn't it? So that I'm so much excited. And I'm also very much nervous, but it's very much excited to actually share with the topic of how the United Nations geospatial communities deliver the service to support or to save the people, and also assist our innocent people who are in difficult situation. Yes, as you can see, this is a very complicated kind of something, but I put on purpose. The reason why I put this one, because you may have some handout. When you read that one, this is a whole structure of the United Nations systems. We call United Nations system means is variety of the different branch of the UN, that how it relate together. So you can see on the left-hand side, there is a UN principal organ, which actually has a six principal organ. Number one is the UN General Assembly and United Nations Security Council, and third one is Economic and Social Council, and fourth one is the Secretariat, and fifth one is the International Court of Justice, and then the sixth one is the Trustee Council. These are the whole principal organ. They create a variety of the different program and project called UN fund and program and agency, like World Food Program, World Health Organization like WHO is creating. When you see WHO in right-hand side, for example, here the World Bank, WHO is right here, UNESCO is right here, FAO right here, which you can see the arrow, and then it's come from Economic Social Council. So the member of the Economic Social Council determined to create WHO, for example, to what? To support health issue for the globe. Likewise, you may use this chart for many to understand about how the UN is doing so. So that would be very much helpful. That's why I put that one. Next slide is focusing more in the Secretariat where I'm belonging to. I'm sorry that I put that all abbreviation, but I think this is also good for you. You can take some homework to understand about each of the abbreviation as well. Like SG means Secretary General, and then this blue color is a department of the management, Department of the Economic and Social Affairs, Department of the Political Affairs, Department of the Peacekeeping Operation, Department of the Field Support, Safety and Security, Public Information, and Department for General Assembly and Conference Management. Those are the major departments to supporting all activities of the United Nations, for example. And then those red-pink color that I actually highlighted is Department of Political Affairs, Peacekeeping Operation, and Field Service, which are the ones who actually deliver a lot of activity in the field, means globally, like Democratic Republic of Congo, or Liberia, Syria, and Somalia. They are the ones who actually went there to deliver the support. And then right-hand side, that you can actually see that the corner of this box is a typical United Nations field operation. This is also homework for you. SRSG stands for a Special Representative of Secretary General, which is head of the field operation mission, and then who has substantive component, which is more like human rights or political affairs, civil affairs, election assistance kind of, and then force as a peacekeeping force, is as a military uniformed force, and police as a civilian police, also support to the field operation, and administration. So those are the typical framework and structure that how we do actually support the field, which means that some of the field mission actually has almost 25,000 troops and employees. And some of the small missions, like a couple of hundred, like 500 people, actually went there in the area of the UN operation. So these are the kind of typical. We have almost 30 different kind of field operation in the world, and one way or the other, they are delivering and secure the security and safety for the innocent people, and then protection of the civilian, and then providing a lot of the humanitarian assistance to be effectively delivered, and then so on and so forth. So these are the one, but I'm sure that this is not easy to understand in general, but at least I can give you that initial introduction. And I'm going a little bit further on UN peacekeeping operation. For example, the peacekeeping operation in general, and we call the peacekeeping operation and political operation altogether we call as a peace operation. Peacekeeping operation in general is actually prepared and provide some of the buffer zone between the two entities who are actually fighting each other's. And after they agree ceasefires, we try to build up the kind of buffer zone to be not to be more, the focus on fighting, but also building sort of peace in between the two different conflict entities. Here are the kind of snapshot that I can share with you how many uniformed military troops and civilian police team are deployed over the world. As you can see, we have more than 100,000 uniformed personnel actually deployed. And as you can see, as I told you that we have almost 125, together with the PBO means political building operation, almost 130,000 UN peacekeepers and the staff members are all around in the world to provide the peace operation in general. And these are the one. And then also you can see that how many dollars of the budget that we spend globally to the peacekeeping operation. And now that I'm actually going to introduce my activities, my role, and my job, that how we do the business to support peacekeeping as well as other UN operation from a geospatial information perspective. The UN-GIS is the UN Geospatial Information Section that we provide geospatial information support to the full range of the UN operation. From the Security Council and Secretariat of the United Nations, and then peace operation, particularly for the peacekeeping operation and political operation, and then also UN Operation and Crisis Center that we provide directly to them, that a lot of the geospatial information and services and technology for them to make a proper decision making and operation, and also provide a lot of the other dynamic kind of information for them to aware of the situation well. So we like to build up some sort of common operating picture for the operation and make a sound decision to the decision-making process. And also I'm the program management of the UN field mission GIS operation in general, globally. And we are also providing a lot of the international boundary-related issue, particularly for the boundary demarcation and delimitation, negotiation, and so on and so forth. And also, we are co-Secretariat together with the Statistics Division of the Department of the Economic and Social Affairs. We work jointly together as a Secretariat to support UN Committee of Experts on Global Geospatial Information Management. This is also one of the snapshots that I like to, actually, this is the continent of the Africa. As you can see, the line as a border line, as a green means fully demarcated, and many of the other borders show as a gray or even red and blue and other color means they are not actually well demarcated. As you can see that this is kind of really a root of the problem, particularly when they enter some of the political issue or social issue or natural resource issue pop up in the area of the undemarcated. This create a lot of problem, even go to the war. So that this is kind of reality on the ground, particularly, and also some of the country in America also has a similar kind of challenge that we are facing too. So that we already been done that the Eritrea, Ethiopia boundary commission issue and blue line between Lebanon and Israel and Cyprus and Iraq, Kuwait. Now we are actually working with the Cameroonian and Nigerian as well to come up with that peaceful way of the demarcation and so on and so forth. As I told you that this important initiative has been actually initiated in 2011 to create the Committee of the Experts on Global Geospatial Information Management called UN-GGIM, which is actually important. Before, there was no such kind of the mechanism or framework that how geospatial can be dealt with it under the United Nations framework. But now we have that one to discuss and understand and enhancing and building some sort of common picture of how geospatial can be useful for the global citizen and global agenda and global challenges and so on and so forth. So that it is a kind of the formal intergovernmental committee under the United Nations framework and umbrella. And then all of the participants of each of the nation delegate actually come together to come up with some sort of commonly agreed kind of policy or the way how we can actually use of the standardized issue and also other type of technology, how we can actually be more effectively introduce that technology into the process of the decision making or sustainable development and so on and so forth. So those are the very important, and over the time that this is one of the examples that how we actually successfully deliver the important kind of decision or framework collectively by the whole nation together. This is the first ever that we actually have a United Nations General Assembly resolution. The United Nations General Assembly means it's more like political body that who are actually supporting the global geodetic reference frame as a GGRF can be supported by the political aspect. So in those for the cooperation and coordination among the whole nation toward the common objectives and common goals and common infrastructure to be built, and also to share of each of the data among each of the different players under the framework of the United Nations General Assembly. So this is one of the biggest achievements that we actually ever have that in the history of the United Nations by the politician, but also supported and initiated by the professional community like UN-GGIM or like surveyors and geospatial experts and so on. Where we operated, we are in UN headquarters in New York. We actually provide a lot of support to the headquarters, senior staff, and division and department, but also, as I told you, that the UN field mission. And we have two major hubs to support these activities in Brindisi, Italy. So you must be proud that this important facility in Italy. And then another one, secondary active telecommunication facility in Valencia, Spain. So those are the twin technologies. They actually work together as one to supporting and providing all of the information technology, geospatial, and telecommunication together to support at the UN operation. So why geospatial information is important? Because visual power, visualization always provides you better understanding, awareness, understanding of the complex issue into the very simple kind of platform. So these are the one of the important aspects. And second one is spatial analysis. So having spatial analysis that you can actually have more closer to the real world to understand of the challenge and issue and phenomenon into the process of solving the problem. So without having spatial analysis and visual understanding, it's hard for us to even start with. So these are those two is a major important aspect that we actually are providing the support. So for example, a Security Council is very high level of the politicians that who actually are looking after all securities in globally day to day, every day. And then we provide a visual understanding of the reality on the ground and on the certain area of the conflict or safety and security issue or future threat issue, and then so on and so forth. And then also, like, as you may see that Ebola emergency response issue in the Western Africa, these are the kind of visual understanding on that aspect so they can prepare for it, and also they can decide the action that need to be done by the global community. And also, Secretary General's report to the United Nations General Assembly and Security Council that we use a geospatial product as a map to understand about what has been done and what is going to be the new plan and so on and so forth. Another aspect, there are a number of different ways that actually provide the support to the various other demands of the decision-making and operation and analysis and so on and so forth for the UN operation. And these are the more specific on the field, so I call that the UN peace operation. And sometimes some of the countries, when we actually went to the Democratic Republic of Congo, there was even no map. They have a map of the 1 to 5 million, 1 to 1 million, 1 to half million, but which is not actually good for the field operation. For example, if we have a map of the Milan with the one dot and Milan as an area, and how you can actually go to the Duomo Cathedral from here, how you can actually reach to the other area from here or there. It's like, so you need a more detailed map for the town, which usually 1 to 2,500 scale, or 1 to 1,000 scale, or some of the simplified as a metro kind of map so that you know exactly which station to go, and so on and so forth. Likewise, we are talking about peacekeeping operation means some of the military forces from completely other country to go to the Democratic Republic of Congo without map. This doesn't really make sense, isn't it? So likewise, we have to produce map adequately for peacekeeper to use. And sometimes we use satellite imagery and derive satellite imagery information into the topographic map. Sometimes like this kind of the cross-country mobility map, so where you can go and where you cannot go. Likewise, you can see even in the desert area, there is a lot of flooding, flash flooding, and also a lot of challenge of the trafficability or mobility, so that you have to aware that where you supposed can go or cannot go. So these are the whole activity that we provided. Even this geospatial science and technology and remote sensing all together with the GIS can actually identify most probable location of the aqua. So these are the ones that how we use. We actually use a radar sensor and optical sensor and analyze, and then simulate it as a three-dimensional aspect of the underground structure to identify where the most potential location of the aqua. So then we can actually do the physical testing on the ground, and then eventually borehole of that most likely area to actually come up with some water, which actually can help for the peacekeeping operation or political operation, but also help to the people in the area and region. And another aspect is the damage assessment, for example, like disaster. Like this is a case of the Haiti. that Port-au-Prince, that once they have a strike by the very high magnitude of the earthquake, we like to see what the real damage is and how we can actually react as a priority to save more people and more kind of the effective way to deliver the assistance and so on and so forth. So these are the kind of map. At the left-hand side, the most damaged location is a red dot, and then on top of the satellite imagery, and then this one is actually color indexed of the less and heavy damaged area, so that we can prioritizing the international assistance role in the more effective and efficient way to do so, for example. And also, security warden or security aspect and incident reporting, so that where the incident happened. I think Maria already saw that the dynamic, real-time kind of incident reporting system of the Lebanon. This is exactly one that we have a snapshot of the incident reporting as of today, real-time, so that we know where the problem is raising and how we can react more effectively, and so on and so forth. I also like to actually introduce about this important initiative. As of the last year, the head of the whole country of the globe actually gathered together in New York to discuss about that future issue, particularly for sustainable development. So they actually agreed and adopt and declare the 2030 agenda for sustainable development, and determined to actually have a 17th goal. As a profession, as a technical professional perspective, all this goal has to be supported by you, by your actually expertise and your experience and your actually knowledge. Without your knowledge, this cannot be solved. So I can actually share with you all of this one. Let's read. We must end poverty in all forms of aspect, and end hungers and difficulties, and ensure the health, life, and promote well-being, and ensure inclusive and equitable quality education to everybody, achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls, ensure availability and sustainability management of water and sanitation, and ensure access to the affordable and reliable, sustainable modern energy, promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, build a resilient infrastructure and promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and reduce inequality within and among country, make city and human settlement inclusive, safe, and sustainable, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. And this is a climate change issue. And also ocean and sea that we have to actually make sustainably use. And protect, restore, and promote the sustainable use of the terrestrial ecosystems. Promote a peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development. And strengthen the means of implementation and revitalization the global partnership for sustainable development. So important is that the United Nations is looking for a lot of solutions, particularly for a lot of technical advanced technical solution and innovative way to deal with the challenges that we are facing with. As you may aware or not, that I can tell you the truth that who is the United Nations? Who is the United Nations? Is Kyoung-Soo Eom is the United Nations? This is not the truth. I'm one of the employees to serving as a secretariat and facilitating the United Nations work, but you are the one, that you are the owner of the United Nations. The members of the United Nations is a nation, and the owner of the nation is you. So you are the United Nations that you set up this kind of the goal, and then this requires a lot of technological assistance and support. That's why the United Nations is looking for your support and your involvement, your interaction to actually solve the problem together with all others. So those are the kind of message that I can tell you. So these are the broad kind of the requirement why geospatial information is necessary to support the United Nations activities and how we do the business. And this is a UN-GIS, is in my office in New York. And we have a GIS center in Brindisi, Italy, as I told you. And each of the field operations, they have a GIS team on the ground. We work together with all UN agencies through the UN working group, UN Geographic Information Working Group called UN-GGIM. And then as a member state, as a national perspective that we are working with the UN-GGIM. And then a lot of partners. We have a partner of the European Union Satellite Center, European Commission Joint Research Center, and then some of the program like GNext program or Copernicus program, and then BGI, US NGA, and also ITC like Columbia University CSN. So I told that Maria and then your lecturer saying that we are looking for the partner as academia. So I'm very much interested to work closely with you to come up with some idea and to actually bridging between the demand and operational requirement versus with actually the young professional who is very much looking forward to develop the new ideas and creative ideas to solve the problem more smartly with a lot of wisdoms and so on and so forth. So those are the ones that we have a lot of partners. So that important is that instead of doing a lot of the duplication and redundant, why not we can actually create some of the synergy to work together to solve the problem. So those are the kind of principal aspect that we, last week, that we also create some of the community that how open source geospatial solution can be supported to the UN operation in general. Initially, we can actually do that for the peace operation and peacekeeping and political aspect. Then gradually we can use them for the humanitarian, disaster management, and climate changes, and others, and human rights, and so on and so forth. Those are the ones that we are able to do so. These are the infrastructure, what we have as of today. We have a headquarters in New York, and then as I told you that the GIS center as a hub of the whole globe is located in Italy, Brindisi. So they actually link all together to the whole UN field operation so that we use enterprise GIS system and like same as a Google Earth, but we call UN Earth system that we can actually use visual power to understand about the issue. And we have a UN map as a geodatabase and gazetteer system and huge amount of the satellite imagery for the area of the operation. And we also have, as I told you, that the Brindisi is one hub. At the same time, we have Valencia, so they actually are doing active kind of twin technology center to serve any kind of the demand of the information technology and communication as well as the geospatial. And these are the kind of snapshot of the Valencia. And as I just briefly mentioned, that we have a lot of different partners and collaboration and cooperation with the member state, with the various countries, including Italy and Germany and USA, UK, and Romania, France, and China. And of course, Korea, that I'm from Korea, but also Korea, also Japan as well. And also African Union is our working partner, European Union is our working partner, NATO also, and also there is a multinational geospatial co-production program in the military community. They actually produce a lot of the good stuff, so we are actually partnering with them. And then international professional organization and academia and research center. I actually like to propose to our lector, dear our lector, as well as that vice lector and Maria. Why not? We can put that Politecnico di Milano to be part of our partner. Yes, Dean can actually approve it easily. So that's what I'm looking for, that we actually can working together. But important is that we have a lot of the professional community actually can be communicated with your research and study group of the professor and student and also young professional who actually can build a good community toward a certain challenge that we may be able to solve together with all different kind of diversity and different kind of expertise and knowledges. And last week we created the UN Open GIS initiative. We'd like to actually have a new name as a UN Open Geo. So Geo, that Maria actually proposed it as a Geo. So for your easy understanding, that UN Open GIS initiative is to try to find the solution together with our community, not only by UN as an organization or a nation or private sector or academia and research institute. Later, why not? We can work all together as a one. So we agreed to build as a community to actually think about the way that how we can actually support the UN Charter. The principle of the UN Charter is a human right, humanity, peace and security, and those are and sustainable development. These are the one as a very important principle and also a goal that how we can build up a better community of the globe. And our vision is that actually, why not? We can actually build up geo-enabled UN operation so that we can deliver more value-added kind of service to the people who are looking forward our support, who are actually asking help for support. So that those are the ones that we consider is important. So my vision is that, and together with you, we really like to build up the geo-enabled kind of the UN operation in the near future. I thank you very much for your attention, and also I really privileged to be here. Thank you.